Did Jesus not die on the cross for all of us? Yet even at the consecration of the Mass, when we consecrate the precious blood, we say that he died not for all, but for many. Who's excluded? Who's left out? Is it like that gospel story we heard tonight about this king who prepared this great banquet, this great feast, and sadly the invited guests refused to come? They had more important things to do in their life. They had other plans, and they decided not to come. They made fun of the king. They made fun of his messengers. All are invited, but few respond. It's hard for us to come to grips with the fact that not everyone might be saved. Yet, that is the conclusion to today's parable. Many are invited, but few are chosen. I have to be honest. I don't like the idea that some might be excluded from heaven. I don't like that thought, especially when I think about it, and it could be me. I could be the one excluded from heaven. I'm confident about God's love, but I'm not so confident about myself. For that reason, I ask, how could a person be excluded from heaven? Why would God leave someone out? Well, it's important to understand that heaven is a banquet. It's a feast. Everyone likes the general idea of a banquet. But regarding any specific banquet, it depends on maybe what's on the menu. You go to a banquet, you go to a meal someplace, and they have those little oysters, those slimy little oysters on the meal. Oh my, we kind of cringe and don't like to eat it. Or maybe even worse yet, escargot, eating snails that come from a garden. Or maybe to even top it off, there's a dish from Mexico called menudo, made from the gut of the cow. Ooh, man. You really got to acquire a taste for those foods in order to like them, in order to enjoy the banquet. A person has to be willing to try them in order to appreciate how delicious they might be. And something similar to that applies to heaven. Not that it will make a difference whether we have a taste for oysters, menudo, or escargot. It will however matter if we have a taste for God, if we have a love for God in our hearts. Even though we are made for God in this life, we have to develop a taste for God. In our souls, there's almost like a void in them, and it has to be filled with something. What are we filling it with? Are we filling it with junk food? Or are we filling it with God? Sometimes we may look at those salads that are set before us, and they can be rather boring. Picking through a few leaves of lettuce, maybe some things that they say are healthy for us, and a little bit of dressing, maybe some oil or vinegar on top of it. It might be a little bit boring. Some people say too, oh, it's boring going to Mass. We have to acquire a taste for it. We have to eat that salad in order to begin to enjoy that food. We have to be at Mass in order to begin to enjoy it and to appreciate it. Hell, on the other hand, is a self-made prison. And a person builds their own hell out of things such as anger, gossip, hurt feelings, vanity, pornography, false self-image, lies. They become our daily diet. Things that are not only not good for us, they're not even healthy for us. They become a daily diet, and they lose or never acquire a taste for God. We never acquire that taste for heaven, that banquet, because it holds no attraction for us. We're compelled by other things. As those guests for the king, we're more concerned about other things in their life. Yes, Jesus shed his blood for all of us, and he invites all of us to the heavenly banquet. But not all accept that invitation. God is inviting all of us, everyone, to his banquet. His light shines on the good and the bad, the just and the unjust. Ever and always he is calling out, urging, even begging us to come to him. Everyone is called. May we accept the invitation so that we can be counted among the chosen. Are you acquiring a taste for heaven?